Great to have you on the podcast today, Alec. I'm really excited to talk about this. As you know, and a lot of our listeners would know, my background is in digital marketing. I ran a digital marketing agency for ages. So I really love it when I get to chat with someone who's doing some great stuff with marketing and who's also empowering and helping massage therapists and other wellness practitioners to do better with their marketing to get more clients in. So maybe could you just give us a little bit of an intro to who you are, Alec, and what it is that you actually do with Offering Tree at the moment?
Well, thank you, James. Thanks for having me on the podcast. I'm a co-founder of a company called Offering Tree. We're a young startup company in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the United States. And we create software for massage and wellness professionals that provide you with a website, scheduling tools for booking and payments and email marketing, all kind of in one built-in platform that's easy to use and easy to set up. You can literally have your site up in like 10 minutes. So that's what we do. And I'm a co-founder and one of the software developers and marketing folks on the team.
Yeah, fantastic. And I think we sort of connected a few weeks ago. And one of the things that really interested me about what you're doing is that it's not just online booking software and it's not just a website even. It's not just doing one thing. Like there's so many solutions that we see out there in the marketplace that do just one thing. You know, we've got great booking software options. We've got, great email marketing software. We've got little nice places to build websites. But often as a small business owner, especially massage therapists, are often not that technically savvy. Some are, of course, but most of them, by and large, not that tech savvy naturally to start with. So it can be quite challenging to have all those different pieces in place for someone who doesn't know where to start. And so part of what Offering Tree, I guess, is doing is trying to combine it all together. But I thought before we talk too much about what Offering Tree is, we might just dive into a little bit of the actual marketing side of things and how massage therapists and other wellness practitioners that you might work with, what you see as being some of the main ways to get new clients that we can do online. And I guess if we start with something like the website is a big piece of online marketing. It's a big piece of that puzzle. What do you see as the kind of things that therapists should be looking at if and when they're ready for a website as part of their marketing?
Yeah, one of the first things is there's some people have an open question of whether they need a website, and I would argue that you definitely do. It's not even a question anymore. When you think back at the old days, you had a physical storefront, and people would walk by and see your sign, and there's the hardware store. They sell hardware, and they know where you are. And then later on, phones were invented, and then the telephone company printed these books. In the United States, it was called the Yellow Pages, where you can thumb through and find things, businesses around you, and with a car you could get to places around you, and that's how people found you. And these days, though, it's all really about your website, because these days people pull their phone out, they pull out Google, and they search, and that's kind of how they find you. And the search is becoming more and more local. So it's very important to have a website, and a website that has your location on it, so that people around you can find you, because the people don't want to drive a very long distance for your massage, no matter how good it is. So that's very important. And once you have your website up, as far as marketing, it's very important. It's not just to build it and they will come kind of thing. You have to market it. You have to create links to it. So it's important to create a Facebook page, Instagram, LinkedIn, and then put links to your website in all of those, so that people can find you in multiple different ways. And then it also helps with SEO, because Google sees that you have various links pointing back to your website.
Yeah, I love that. We do a lot of training around websites as well, and we look at it as being really, there's two things that a website helps with. One is that it does get found in Google. That's SEO that you're talking about, search engine optimization. And Google is just such a fantastic place to get clients from, because if someone is in Google and they're searching for massage in, and then their town or their suburb, they've already got intent. They already know they want a massage. So if you pop up there, you've got a nice website, everything kind of aligns. There's a really high probability that they can book in from that. The other thing that websites are great for is other marketing can lead people through a website to be able to help to get them to book. And even offline marketing. So things like going to a local market and I don't know, having a stall or a $10, 10-minute massage kind of thing that lots of people do, or referrals. If you get word of mouth referrals, think about it. You recommend to your friend to come and see a massage therapist. The first thing they do is Google you, right? They Google the massage therapist, then they'll go to their website and have a look at it. So a lot of people, I think, they think, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't need a website because I've got the other stuff sorted. And maybe right at the start they don't. But as things move upward and onward, our website is kind of like petrol to all the rest of your marketing as well. It makes all of it work more effectively. What about, because I know Offering Tree does some of this as well, what would you see as the most effective other places to try and get people to come to your website? Like, do you have a tactic you can give us for either a social media avenue or a type of advertising that can be used to help people go to your website more?
Oh, yeah. One thing you can do, and this is a great way to improve your SEO, is to write blogs or create some content somewhere. It can be on your own website if you want, but there are sites like Medium. I don't know if you've heard of that, where you could create blogs on there and share what you know, share your expertise. And you can always put links back to your website there. And that's a great way to attract people, because if you write something interesting, people are going to share it. And as they share it, they'll see your link, and some people will visit your site. So creating quality content is a great way to get people to your site. There's also, you can advertise. Online advertising is, it depends if it's a location-based kind of getting people close and near you and advertising to them. It can be very effective. Facebook ads can target location. Same with Google ads. So that's another way if you want to kind of ramp up people visiting your site, is run some advertising. It's not super expensive. I mean, you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. You could spend as much as you want, $10, and just get some ads up there and just see how they do and see, is traffic increasing to my website? And if not, don't do it again. But if it works, hey, that's an easy way to get people to your website for pretty good value.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you can actually use those two things together too. If you've got really good content on your site, you've got some blogs or some videos or something that's giving value to your potential clients. If you advertise that content, that can be really cheap ways of getting clicks through to your website. You do have to make sure then that they've got an opportunity to actually create a booking off the back of that. But content is such a great way of being able to, again, to just reach more people and make it really easy to get that connection. And you're giving people some education as well. If it's an article that's about something that's going to help them, it can be really useful to be in that position of educating local people in your area. So I love that. So we're talking about Facebook ads, Google ads, using things like blogs as content, creating links from other sites back to yours as well. What is there anything that you would say you see when you're looking at it from, because I know you work with just like hundreds of massage and other wellness professionals, hundreds of other therapists. Is there one person you could think of as an example out of all that you would say, well, see this person, this is what they did and it worked really well for them?
Yeah, we have a couple people on our platform that have done a really good job of doing all the things that we mentioned. They write content, they create blogs, and they populate their site with all their listings, all the things that they do. And we can look at the traffic for them, and they are drawing traffic to them. I don't have names off the top of my head, but if you do it, and another key is to do it over a long period of time. The longer you're kind of at it and creating content and drawing traffic, your ranking goes up in Google, and you start to introduce more traffic. So it's kind of like a feedback loop, and it gets better and better with time.
Yeah, that's great. I kind of say sometimes it's like standing on a little hill and you're waving and saying, hey, everyone, notice me, I'm a massage therapist, I'm here. And the more content you do, it's like adding dirt to the hill, so it gets taller and taller and taller. It gets easier for people to see you, the more good content you've got there, which is fantastic. It is also something where sometimes people look at blogging and think, oh, it takes me so long to write a blog post. Do I really have to do one every month or every week or whatever schedule they're trying to put out there? And that's where I think paid advertising can be so much quicker. It just costs money, So we've always got different opportunities, different options to look at. And it just comes down to what's going to work for you in your situation, maybe how much natural enthusiasm or a motivation you have to create things like blog posts or video content. Some people love that stuff, right? And they're naturally just attuned to that style of marketing. Other people are like, oh, it's like, we'll just pay for some ads. That's easy, go for it.
Yep.
So really, whatever way people are coming to your website, then they're coming to a website, and then we've got that process of online booking. And I know if we've got the statistics or the analytics, the tracking set up right, we can actually look at statistics of how many people see an ad, then how many people have clicked through and looked at the website, and then how many of those might have clicked a booking link, and then how many of them have actually created a booking. And I guess one of the things, as I said earlier, that really attracted me around Offering Tree was that you've got that kind of whole link by link process, or the whole step by step process, all sort of happening in one system.
Yep.
What would you see as being the main parts of that? If someone is not getting enough bookings, but they feel like they're doing a bit of marketing on the front end, like right at the start of that process, where would you see the big steps are in between that they should look at if they want to try and diagnose where people might be falling off the train?
Yep. One thing that we provide is we provide analytics for your website right out of the box. So we tell you how many people have viewed your website, and that's the first thing is to measure, right? If you're not measuring, you don't know what's happening, right? So that's step one. Now, the analytics that we provide are pretty basic, just page views. And if you're interested in digging in further, we allow you to be able to paste in a Google Analytics tag. So basically, hook in Google Analytics, and then you have their whole suite of software, so you can look at everything. That's for people who are interested in kind of really diving in. If you're just interested in how many people are coming, I think just simple page views is good enough. And then you can start monitoring. Then you can, when you run your ads, you can see, okay, traffic went up. These days I ran the ads, and then kind of get a feel. And then, bookings, those days too. So you can measure how many bookings you had in those days and how many page views. So you kind of correlate the two, your actions with the results that you see. And I think that's the best way to kind of fine tune things.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have something in your platform that will actually show people if a booking right at the end of that funnel, if a booking was made from a specific ad or from a specific front end thing? Like, I know, just to give you some context, in Facebook, you can run an ad and you can check for a conversion. And lots of people listening probably don't even use Facebook ads at this level of detail. But if you're not yet, just follow along. You can actually then sort of see when you've spent an ad. You can say, well, I spent $20 and I got 2 bookings from it. And Facebook can actually track if a booking happened. Unfortunately, a lot of the booking software that we want to use doesn't allow Facebook that visibility. It doesn't actually let it see if a conversion happened. Do you have something in yours, whether it's allowing Facebook to track that or it has its own tracking for that?
We don't have direct tracking of bookings, but if you do paste in a Google Analytics tag, you can always, in Facebook, put codes in the links. And then from that, Google Analytics knows, who came through what links. So if it's a booking link, you can set that code up. But we don't do that directly. Currently, we want to add that in the future, and that's one of our things we want to do is add better tracking, especially for the booking actions.
Yeah, because it is really helpful. I know some of the software does do it. And it means whether you're using Google ads or Facebook ads or whatever, you can just sort of put the tracking in there and be able to see it coming through. Google Analytics does do a heap of that stuff, but even it needs to be able to see, did this person turn into an actual booking? Is it a conversion at that level, or were they just clicking a booking link? There's a lot of different things that we can track there. And I guess for people who are listening, all of that is fairly high level. Lots of people will just be like, oh yeah, whatever, I just want to put an ad out there and get some bookings from it. I don't need to know exactly what's going on at that level. But some people do like to get a bit deeper into it. Tell me a little bit more specifically about your story behind Offering Tree. Tell me a bit, you mentioned there's a team of people that run it. Who have you got on your team?
Yeah, we have, there's 4 of us. There's 5 of us overall. And we started about 3 years ago, and we're all in the Minneapolis, Minnesota area. And we have a yoga instructor and a meditation professor on our team. And he was consulting for some wellness businesses, and he kept hearing over and over how people, especially individuals who are trying to branch out and start their own business, were having trouble with the technical aspects of running a business as well as the business part. So he kept hearing that, and we were friends with him, and he just asked us if there's something we can do about it. So we kind of got together, we interviewed a bunch of people, and realized this was a common problem. I mean, people have trouble. There's all these different services that do one thing very well, but getting them all working together was really difficult for people. So yeah, we started the company and went out to solve this problem. So we kind of wrote all the software ourselves, and we're trying to build this up into something that's useful for people, and we keep adding features every day. So what you see now, even 6 months ago, we've added a bunch of stuff. So we keep on trying to make it better, and we love hearing from our users, and we take direct requests. I mean, if people want things added, we take it very seriously, and there's a good chance we will add it. So, we're not a big corporation that just kind of can't even talk to anyone. You can talk to us directly, and we want to build something that people love. So we tend to take user feedback very seriously, and we're trying to build something great.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it sounds really great. I have not actually used Offering Tree, but I've been to the website, had a look around at the features and that kind of thing. And I guess for me, the thing that strikes me as exciting is that it is so integrated. There's not just a website, it's not just online booking, but it's got the marketing side of things. I think it even does things like email and newsletters and that kind of stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, it has newsletter capabilities, so you can not only email all your clients as a newsletter per se, but there's a button on the website that someone can subscribe to your email, and you can actually set up a little drip email thing, which is basically a sequence of emails, or one or more if you want, when someone kind of subscribes to your page. So you can do that, and it takes care of all that for you, the timing of it, sends the email, everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's got that email marketing piece kind of built in. Now it's not going to be as fully functional as like a MailChimp per se, but the database collects all the email addresses of everyone who signs up for or books an appointment with you. So everything kind of is just sucked into the system, and then you have the ability to use it and email anyone you want.
Yeah, it sounds really fascinating. And it's been great to have a bit of a chat with you about the sort of general sort of marketing aspects, how people can go online, what websites are good for, and all that sort of thing. It is also something where we're focusing in quite a bit in this episode on Offering Tree, just because I find it so interesting. If people are looking for more information about that, about Offering Tree itself, where should they go? What's the website we can point people to?
Well, it'd be pretty ironic if we didn't have a website, right? But we do. It's at
Thank goodness.
offering.
That's good.
It's at offeringtree.com, one word, and you just can go there, and we've got all sorts of information. We have a blog that has lots of. It's not just about our software; it's about like all the issues that independent wellness instructors face. So there's a lot of helpful articles there. You can subscribe to our newsletter if you want to get that in your email, or you could just peruse them, and there's some very helpful articles. And we list all the features on there, and you can go through it and see. And of course, you can reach out to us at hello@offeringtree.com if you have any questions or need any help with anything.
Yeah, sounds great. And we'll put the links to that in the show notes for this episode. So if you're listening to this and you want to click through, have a look at Offering Tree, offeringtree.com, or we'll pop the links in the show notes here. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Alec. Really great to be able to speak with you and to see some exciting new stuff happening in that world of online marketing specifically for wellness and massage professionals. Love it. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me on, James. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.